A night to remember. Every girl looks forward to their senior homecoming because it is their last dance. They want every detail to be perfect. I'm no different. For weeks, my friends and I planned out what we would wear and how our hair would look. Homecoming is supposed to be a picture-perfect night surrounded by friends sharing memories together that would last them for a lifetime. I will always remember my senior homecoming, but not for the same reasons as most others. No one would have expected the night to end with blood on our dresses and frantic phone calls to our loved ones. The day started smoothly, my friends and I going to get our nails done, laughing and talking about the night ahead. I always loved the process for getting ready, and it was my favorite part of dances because I get to become a different person through makeup that I would normally never wear. When you are finally ready to put on your dress you picked out weeks in advance, and your whole image comes together, there's a silence. You stare at yourself in the mirror and take in the moment. I never had looked so elegant in my life, and I was definitely ready for my last dance. I never had a date to a dance before, and tonight was no different, but I never let that stop me from having a great time with my friends. The whole night was planned out perfectly. First, we would go take pictures at my friend's house. There were about 20 of us, and all of our parents would see us off to our final dance. The parents were even nice enough to make us food so we would not have to pay for a dinner. After pictures and food, we went to the dance. My friend Lexi and her date, Andrew, drove me to the dance. Walking up to the doors, I was so excited for the night to truly begin. There were large balloon structures lining the entrance, transforming our common area. I always checked my coat and purse with the volunteer parents. Knowing they had my things in good hands, I could enjoy the night. I love to dance. Whether that be with friends, a date, or just by myself, I danced the night away. My high school always plays great music, and tonight was especially good. I definitely worked up a sweat on the dance floor. As the night came to a close, we all decided to hang out afterwards and make sure we definitely did not waste our final senior dance. Andrew was kind enough to offer me a ride to the house just about a minute up the road. High on happiness, we got into the car and I sat in the back since Lexi would sit up front. My dress was tight and his car was small. I barely had enough room to sit down. Not thinking about it, I never put my seatbelt on. This would prove to be a mistake later on. The night had turned dark and stormy as Andrew started the car and began to drive to the house. Lexi and I were already talking about the dance and our favorite memories. Then, blackness. Warm blood filled my hands and confusion set in immediately. I did not know where the blood came from or whose it was. I felt like I was in a dream. All my hearing was muffled, and I could not focus on what my friends were saying. I didn't have my seatbelt on, Andrew, I hear Lexi say. I'm so sorry, Andrew cries back. Still in the car, I finally realized all the blood was coming from my mouth and that is when I began to scream. I immediately could not locate my front tooth and extreme panic began to sit in. Someone pulled me out of the car and now I was on the sidewalk, sitting surrounded by friends who had been following in the car behind us. It is now raining and I am covered in jackets still crying. Under all the blood in my mouth, however, was still my tooth. It had been jolted out of place and was hanging low, but it was still there. Once I realized my injuries were not as serious as I thought, I began to worry about my friends, who up until now I had not thought about. Where's Lexi? Is she okay? I want my mom. Someone call my mom, I yell. Luckily, the driver, Andrew, is completely fine and is calling the cops and paramedics for Lexi and I. Lexi hit her head on the dash and we were both checked out in an ambulance. I'm unsure of how long it took them to arrive because we were both inside for only a short period of time. My brother Tyler was the first on the scene, and he was able to come into the ambulance with me. I could not stop crying, and when people would say, Kendall, it's all right, and you're going to be all fine, it only made me shake more and cry harder. My emotions were all over the place, and finally my parents arrived to take me to the hospital. At the hospital, the doctors bridged my tooth back into place, and for the next month I wore a retainer 24/7 to realign my teeth. Thankfully, mine and Lexi's injuries were minor, but I am still paying for my mistake today. I am currently working with my lawyers to settle the financial costs of my dental situation. My front tooth is dead, and it is only a matter of time until it falls out and completely turns black. An implant costs between $6,000 and $5,000, money which my family does not have. Andrew's insurance company is working with us very well, and there should not be a problem moving forward. Although this is all very good news, it could have been avoided if I would have just taken a second to think and put my seatbelt on. I am thankful that the accident was not worse, but I am still paying for my actions. No one would have expected a night that began so perfectly to end in horror. When you are young and living in the moment, You do not concentrate on what could possibly go wrong, and you should not have to, but it is wise to always have those thoughts in the back of your mind.